Welcome to the Reiki Coach on Call podcast. I'm Mary Riposo, a Reiki master, teacher, mentor, and author. And I give Reiki practitioners the tools they need to get their healing work out into the world. We're continuing our discussion on the business of Reiki. In the last episode, I talked about teaching Reiki classes. And today, our focus is on selling products in your Reiki business. I'll give you the pros and cons of selling products, as well as what you need to get started. I'll also share a personal story about how I started selling products in my Reiki business, and I'll help you figure out if selling products is right for you. Welcome to my office. I'm here at my desk having some English breakfast tea, one of my favorites, and I might even have a blueberry scone next to it, or half of one, but I'll save that for later. Think I'm all set, so grab a seat, pour a cup of tea for yourself, and let's talk Reiki. Selling products can be a great addition to your Reiki business. It can give you an additional revenue stream and add to your bottom line. And at the same time, it can add more value to your services and build client loyalty. When it comes to products you can sell within your Reiki business, the sky is the limit. You could sell physical products such as books, candles, crystals, essential oils, teas, clothing, etc. You could also sell digital products such as courses, guided meditations, and downloadable or printable items. I've been selling products in my Reiki business for decades, but there was a time when I not only didn't know how to sell products, I didn't believe in selling products because I thought it would come across as pushy or would take something away from my Reiki services. Then, one day I was visiting a wellness fair with a friend. As we looked at the candles, crystals, and jewelry, none of which were available locally, she suggested I start selling similar products in my business. When I hesitated, she said, "Mary, this is great stuff, and we can't get any of it around here. I know a lot of people who wait all year for this fair just so they can come and shop. They're going to buy it anyway. Why not let them get it from you?" That conversation got me thinking, and I decided to try my hand at selling products. I started with some wire wrap pendants I made by hand, and then I added some handmade wooden Reiki boxes. Over the years, I've had a full-time retail shop, and I've even authored books, card decks, and courses within my Reiki business. I've sold both in retail and online shops. So I'm looking forward to sharing what I know about selling products in this episode. If you've ever thought of selling products in your Reiki business, I bet you have a bunch of questions swirling around in your head about how it all works. You're probably wondering about the pros and cons and whether this is the right path for you. But don't worry, you're not alone. Stick with me and we'll go over everything you need to know about getting started with product sales. So first, let's take a look at the upside to selling products, and then we'll go over any pitfalls you might face before deciding whether it's a business path for you. Okay, so here are my top 3 pros of selling products. Number 1, they increase your bottom line. Selling products is a great way to make money in your Reiki business. If you simply sell a few products in addition to whatever Reiki services you already offer, you'll be increasing passive revenue for your business. Passive revenue is income from sources that aren't dependent on your time. Product sales will usually happen at the end of a session when your client is checking out, or at any time if you have an online shop. Have you ever heard of making money while you sleep? Well, product sales is a good way to do it. So the second pro is they add more value to your services. You can increase the benefits your clients receive by using products within their session and then offering those items for sale. When a client session ends, their problems don't always go away. Most clients come to us because they are suffering in some way. Maybe it's stress, physical pain, or something else. A Reiki session can go a long way toward helping them. But what about their needs in between sessions? Could you offer them a bottle of the essential oil you use within your sessions, or a copy of a guided meditation or self Reiki session? Think of what you could offer to your clients to help augment their sessions and provide in between session benefits. Then offer those products within your Reiki business. Okay, so the third product or the third pro of selling products is they build client loyalty. When you offer products that solve your clients' problems, you simplify their lives and save them time. Most of your clients would rather purchase directly from you, their trusted practitioner, than from an impersonal company. And when they use a product at home, it will remind them how great they felt after their last Reiki session, and that will trigger them to make another appointment. Because of this, selling products within your Reiki business can actually build client loyalty and increase retention. So, as you can see, there are a lot of great reasons to sell products. But are there any downsides? Well, from my experience, there are three main things you should take into consideration before making a decision. One is cost. If you're selling physical products, producing and storing them can be expensive. You need to invest money up front before you can sell them. So I recommend starting small if you're thinking about selling physical products in your Reiki business. That way, even if you make a mistake and the product doesn't sell, you won't be out a lot of money. Also, if you're creating the products yourself, you need to consider the time it takes to do so. If it's labor intensive, it may take time away from other business or personal activities and may not be a great business move. So consider the costs involved before you press play on product sales. Number 2 is shipping. If you sell products that need to be shipped to customers, make sure you have the time and interest in doing those activities. I have to tell you, it can be a pain to ship individual products to customers on a regular basis. No one wants to wait for their product to arrive, and most people these days want free shipping. So you'll always be packaging items and standing in line at the post office if you ship physical products. And if a product is damaged in transit, you can get returns and customer complaints, which can damage your reputation. If you have someone who will do this job for you at a low cost, so no time is taken away from your work with clients, it may be worth it. Of course, if you sell products only within your physical space or you sell digital products online, you can avoid this headache altogether. And number 3 is advertising. Once you have your product line and inventory set, you'll need to let potential clients know what you have to offer. If you sell physical products out of your space and don't mind selling only a few products to clients who happen to come in for a session, then you should be fine. But if you're going to all the trouble of selling products, you probably should let people know about it. And the best way to do this is through marketing and advertising. There are low-cost ways to market your products along with your services, but if you don't have the skills or the inclination to do so, you'll have to hire it out, which will cost more money. If you do it yourself, just make sure it doesn't take time away from your work with clients. Now, I bet you're wondering how profitable product sales can be. Well, it depends on several factors. And although I can't give you a specific advice because I don't know your situation, but in general, the way to gauge whether selling a product is profitable is to add up how much it costs to buy or create it, sell it, and support it, and subtract that from how much money you make from selling it. So, for example, Say you sell handmade candles in your Reiki business. You would take the cost of the materials to make the candles, the cost of selling them, including shelf space in a physical location, any money you pay for an online shop if you sell there, advertising, marketing, storage space, packaging, etc. Then you would subtract that from the sale price of the candle. If your margin is 10 to 20% or higher, it may be worth it if the candles are actually selling. If your margin is less than 10%, or if the candles aren't moving for another reason, like poor advertising or something else, it's probably not worth your time or effort. So, should you go for it? The short answer is maybe. As long as you weigh the advantages and potential disadvantages, selling products can be good for business because one, they increase your bottom line. Two, they add value to your services. And three, they build client loyalty. But there are disadvantages associated with cost, shipping, and advertising. So take these into account when you're deciding whether to sell products in your Reiki business. Now, I bet you want to know what you need to get started selling products. Well, I've created a quick start checklist for you, which I'll share in a moment. But first, let's take a Reiki break. A Reiki break is great to do anytime you feel the need to relax and come back to center. You're invited to participate whether or not you've been trained in Reiki. So put everything aside, including all your thoughts and concerns. Place your hands somewhere comfortable on your body. If it's safe to do so, gently close your eyes. And if not, keep your eyes open. This works either way. Now begin to take some deeper breaths. Consciously release any tension you may be holding. And now feel the healing essence of Reiki activating within you, flowing through you, within you, and around you. Coming fully into the present moment, the only moment that exists. Feel yourself rooted to the earth, completely at home in your physical body. And feel your connection to spirit. Open to higher guidance. And feel a deep compassion for all beings everywhere. And just resting in this space of grounded, spacious compassion. Now begin to come back by bringing your awareness to your eyes, taking some deeper breaths, and coming back fully. That was so nice. I feel so much more relaxed and present now. So where was I? Oh yeah, I almost forgot. That's what happens sometimes when you practice Reiki. Time and space tends to just fall away. So this episode's quick start checklist is brought to you by the Reiki journals. I created the Reiki journals to help anyone who has taken Reiki training track their practice and document their Reiki journey. There's a Reiki journal for each level of practice, from level 1 to master level. Included are journaling prompts, practice instructions, and a tracker for all of your Reiki activities. Get one for your current level of training, or if you're a Reiki teacher, consider giving them to your students along with their class manual. I'll drop a link nearby for the Reiki journals, so make sure to look for that. And P.S., They serve as a great example of a product I created that I sell within my Reiki business. Okay, so now for my quick start checklist on how to get started selling products in your Reiki business. Number 1, pick the right product. When deciding which products to sell, choose products that are in line with your business, such as essential oils or crystals that you already use in your sessions. That way, when your clients experience them within a session, they're more likely to buy. Another good idea is to pick products you would personally use, ones your clients might like. These could include scented candles, gemstone jewelry, or herbal teas. And once you've decided on the products, it's time to create or source them. If you're purchasing items to resell, it's best to find a good wholesale source. And for products you're making, be sure to keep track of everything you spend that goes into creating them. I recommend starting small. Pick 1 to 3 products to start. Number 2, choose your sales platform. Once you have your products and are ready to go, next you'll need to choose a sales platform. If you have a space where you see clients for in-person sessions, display them there. If you see clients remotely or you don't have a space of your own in which to sell products, you can set up an online store. This can be done through your website or an online site such as Etsy, Shopify, or even Amazon. Number 3, make sure you're legal. Before you begin selling your products, make sure you're compliant with laws and regulations in your area. I'm in the US, and not all states have the same requirements here. So I recommend that you look into what your jurisdiction requires before you start. You may need to obtain a sales tax number, as many places require you to pay sales tax on products you sell. If you don't collect tax with each sale, you'll still be required to pay sales tax to the government. And if you resell products that you purchased wholesale, you'll need to obtain a reseller license. Make sure not to skip this step, as you'll have to pay hefty fines if you don't and are caught. Number 4, price your products. So, how do you come up with a price for your products? First of all, I recommend doing your research to determine what similar products are selling for. If you're reselling products you've purchased at wholesale, the wholesaler will give you the MSRP or retail price. But if you're creating products on your own, you'll have to do a bit more work to compare your products to others that are similar. For these products, make sure to take into account the cost of creating the product. And for all products, you'll want to make sure that you're making a profit over and above the cost of creating or purchasing the product, plus any taxes you must pay. If you have an online store and are shipping products, you'll also have to determine shipping fees. And number 5 is track your financials. So once you have everything in order, do yourself a favor and set up a system to track inventory and sales. It doesn't have to be complicated, but you will need to keep records to determine how much money you make from product sales. If you have an online store, you probably have access to reports from the site itself. But if you sell locally, you'll need to have your own system. It can be as simple as a log or a ledger book, or you can go with accounting software. So that's about it. To get started selling products, you'll need to, number 1, pick the right product. Number 2, choose your sales platform. Number 3, make sure you're legal. Number 4, price your products. And number 5, track your financials. I hope you feel more inspired to start selling products in your Reiki business. I know you can do it, and I'll be here cheering you on. If you need a little more help, contact me to schedule a mentoring call. And make sure to check out Reiki journals, especially if you want to see a good example of a product I sell in my Reiki business. In the meantime, subscribe so you'll never miss an episode, and I'll see you next time for the Reiki Coach on Call podcast, where I'll spill the tea on hosting Reiki events.